Welcome, friends, to our weekly Tuesday night gathering. It's wonderful to be gathering with you together again here. It's really my favorite thing to do is to get to meditate with friends, so I am really honored to have this opportunity to meditate together and to share the teachings and techniques of my guru, Paramhansa Yogananda, and some of the things that I'm learning through my teachers at Ananda, and especially the Superconscious life force healing techniques that Yogananda taught. And I've been learning this through one of my teachers at Ananda, actually at Ananda, India. And I've linked to the videos, the workshops on YouTube from Cecilia, Sharma, that is listed there in the show notes. So check out that link to keep diving more deeply into this practice. And this is a practice where repetition is key. So the more that we continue to repeat and practice this over and over, the more and more powerful it becomes. The more and more we begin to realize that it works. And when we begin to realize that it works and we begin to have experiences for ourselves, the more willpower that we have, the more belief that we have, the more devotion that we have. So I've been called to repeat this over and over together, and the more that I practice it, the more and more that it opens up for me. So let's begin together by invoking the great masters of Kriya Yoga, inviting spirit, inviting the divine to be here with us. Let's pray together as we begin our satsang. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, dearest friend, beloved God, great masters of self-realization, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashai, Swami Shri Yukteswar, beloved Guru Paramhansa Yogananda Ji, great saints and sages of all traditions, humbly, lovingly, we invoke your presence and bow before you all. O mighty force of all that is good and right, help us to see our strength as an expression of thy infinite power. Let us banish the darkness of repression as it is forever foreign to thy light. Om, peace. Amen. And in this week's session together, I had a revelation during my meditations this week around the gene keys. And my partner, Hassan Al-Khor, who is a partner of mine on the nature forest retreats that we host together. And in those retreats, we do a combination of gene keys activations and gene keys readings that are specific to each of the members that come on those experiences, combined with meditations, combined with these life force healing tools and techniques. And so I've been inspired to bring out one of the gene keys topics, and the author of the gene keys is Richard Rudd. And these are some words from Richard Rudd as well as in inspired writings of Hassan around the core wounds. And in the gene keys there is known as the 6 core wounds. And in the first core wound, this is known as repression. Our tendency to repress our hidden, unexpressed fears. And I wanted to read some words here from Hassan combined with the wisdom of Richard Rudd around repression. And we all carry these different we all carry these wounds at some degree or another. And for our practice, I thought that it would be very valuable for us to pinpoint one of these different wounds for each week that we're gathering together. I noticed that in my own practice, when I brought up a wound that is notable for my own life, that when I pinpointed that and then I sent the energy to heal that part of my brain and into the body and into the heart, when I did that, I realized that I was actually pinpointing that wound and eliminating it. So bringing it up, having that in mind as we begin, and asking the life force energy to target that area, that really brought about an incredible healing for me. It freed my mind from something that had been bothering me. And so I wanted to do this together, and each week we will move through the different wounds, each of the 6 wounds. So tonight's wound is around repression. And in this writing that I'm reading here, repression refers to hidden, unexpressed fear. Few are those who are willing to look deeply into the source of their suffering. And yet, it is our responsibility to remember not to shut off our hearts and distract ourselves with the many material offerings of the world. So often we distract ourselves when we repress and we push things away. We can distract ourselves with vices, alcohol, with too much watching TV, too much sex, all of the different things, the physical pleasures of the world, all those distractions that keep us from actually looking this fear in the face. And as we remember that it is our responsibility not to shut off our hearts and distract ourselves with these many offerings of the world, it is our duty to breathe deeply, to learn to concentrate, and to look suffering in the eye, and make a conscious decision to open our hearts to the world and all of the beauty that alchemizes through pain. You may tend to internalize your suffering, to deal with it by keeping it to yourself and holding it all within. Many times we do this. We hold it in. And when we do this, we struggle. We struggle with being seen. And in reality, it is because we feel as if we cannot share our suffering with anyone, because we believe something is wrong with us, and that others may feel the same way. So we choose to carry the weight of our repression and our repressed suffering alone. And tonight we are being called upon to transmute repression. And it is now ripe and ready for us to offer this service to humanity with the realization that we do not need to carry this weight alone anymore. So as we are transmuting this, we're transmuting it for ourselves, we're transmuting it for our community, we're transmuting it for the world at large. We're doing it for the benefit of all beings. And our path to transmuting this wound starts with self-honesty. In most cases, it is harder to be honest with ourselves than with others. It is easy sometimes to see the wounds in other people, and we may call them out, while unconsciously turning a blind eye to our own wounds. And in this process, all we need to do is to sit, to feel, to sit down with what is coming up without trying to change or manipulate it. We feel it and we send it love, realizing that it is not our wound alone to carry, but the wound of repression of humanity. And the pain that you feel is the pain of the collective that has been passed down through ancestral lines, generation after generation. All that is required of us is to witness this wound as it opens up. We will utilize Yogananda's life force healing technique to illuminate and annihilate this repressed, unexpressed fear that have remained in darkness possibly for ages. We are gathered here to remember that we are no longer in need of carrying this alone. Let us come together to transmute this repression for ourselves, for our community, and for the rest of humanity. And this is what we're called on to do now in this moment. So let's gather together and practice Yogananda's technique for getting at the cause, which is the grooves that are formed in our brains. This tendency to repress things comes from the experiences that we've have in life, and it became a groove in our brain that keeps us repeating this repression over and over, pushing away, and rather than transmuting these fears. So let's look these fears in the face tonight rather than pushing them away. So let's gather together, sitting together with our backs in a straight line, our head parallel to the floor. Let's begin by relaxing and releasing the tension in the body. This is going to be a short and long double inhalation. We're going to tense all the muscles in the body in a low, medium, high tension. We're going to exhale, relax, release, and feel. And we're going to be using a technique for concentration called measured breathing. We're going to be inhaling through the nostrils to a count of 6, holding the breath to a count of 6, and then exhaling through the nostrils slowly to a count of 6. So let's begin by relaxing and releasing the tension in the body. Let's take a double inhalation. Low, medium, high tension in all the muscles vibrating with energy, and exhale. Relax, release, feel. Again, inhale and tense. Low, medium, high, vibrating with willingness, and exhale. Relax, release, feel. Last round, inhale and tense. Low, medium, high tension in all the muscles, vibrating with willingness, vibrating with willpower, and exhale. Relax, release, feel, letting go of all the tension, all the cares and worries of the day. We've carved out this time for ourselves. Let us bring our focused attention so that we can heal our brains, so that we can get to the root of the suffering in our brains. Next, let's do a few rounds of measured breathing together. So with the gaze uplifted at the point between the eyebrows, let's take a normal deep inhalation in and all the way out. And now, very slowly through the nostrils, inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold, keeping the gaze uplifted at the point between the eyebrows. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Breathing normally. And just allowing that breath to come and go naturally, as if it were waves on the seashore. Feeling that breath come up onto that seashore, in the nostrils, turning around, going back out into the ocean. And as you breathe, begin to notice the sensation of the breath in the nostrils. Noticing that on the inhalation, the breath there is a bit cool. And on the exhalation, slightly warm. Becoming more and more relaxed with each breath. Remember, meditation is about relaxation of the body, single pointed focus, and allowing the consciousness to expand. So as you feel the body relaxing more and more with each breath, just notice that cool sensation of the breath in the nostrils on the inhale, slightly warm sensation on the exhale. And as you become more and more relaxed with each breath, let's move that sensation now up from the nostrils, up to the bridge of the nose, where the nose meets the skull. Feel now that the cool and warm sensations of the breath are coming and going from the bridge of the nose. Feeling yourself becoming more and more relaxed, yet more and more focused. And as you become more and more relaxed with each breath, let's move this sensation now up from the bridge of the nose, just slightly this time, to the point between the eyebrows, the spiritual eye, the seat of superconscious awareness. Feel now that the cool and warm sensations of the breath are coming and going from the point between the eyebrows. Gaze uplifted to this point. Single pointed focus at the point between the eyebrows. Allowing the body to relax more and more with each breath. Remember, this is a short meditation, so no time for messing around. Let's become very, very focused. Feel the cool sensation of the breath at the point between the eyebrows on the inhale. Warm sensation there on the exhale. With your gaze uplifted at this point between the eyebrows, feeling that cool sensation there on the inhale, slightly warm sensation on the exhale. And now letting go of the focus on the breath, keeping our gaze laser focused at the point between the eyebrows. Taking a deep breath as if you were breathing in through your heart. Feel a swirling, glowing ball of light energy at the heart center. Feel this light energy as a deep yearning for this healing opportunity to overcome repression, to overcome this unexpressed fear that has been causing us suffering mentally, physically, and in our hearts and spiritually. Feel this deep yearning as a glowing sphere of light in the heart center. And now feel that light energy in the heart center, that doorway opens up, and that light blasts up from the heart, up into the throat, feeling that light in the throat. That doorway of the throat opens, that light blasts up to the medulla oblongata at the base of the brain. That light now shoots through the brain to the point between the eyebrows. 3 exhales from that point. Keeping the gaze laser focused at the point between the eyebrows, relaxing the body, breathing normally. Feeling this beam shooting up from the heart, up through the throat, up to the base of the brain, curving and going through the brain to the point between the eyebrows. Let us now also call on the divine to help us to gather the energy at the point between the eyebrows. This life force energy that throughout the day is going out into our limbs and into our body. We are now harnessing this energy that comes in through the medulla oblongata, going through the brain, and we're gathering at the point between the eyebrows. Command it to gather there. Call on your inner guru. Call on any form of the divine to help you now in this moment. Yogananda says that the power of God within you will do it. Have that faith. Know that. Suspend your disbelief. Suspend your cynicism, your doubts. What harm could it have? Suspend your disbeliefs now so that you can gather this life force energy at the point between the eyebrows, and we can have devotion for this healing practice. We can have faith in this healing practice. What harm could it have to have full 100% faith in this healing practice that is given to us by an avatar guru that has come during the age of energy to teach us how to heal ourselves? So gather all of this energy at the point between the eyebrows, calling on the divine to help us draw this life force energy to this focus at the spiritual eye. Now feel this life force energy entering through the base of the brain at the medulla. This area at the base of the brain is known by the yogis as the mouth of God. It's like a window or a mouth that is opening wide and letting in the cosmic energy, the life force energy. Feel that area at the base of the brain, the soft spot at the base of the brain is becoming transparent, and that energy is now moving in through the base of the brain and going directly through the brain to the spiritual eye. And this point between the eyebrows, it acts like a mirror, reflecting this beam of energy, shining it back towards you. As you lift your gaze to this point, imagine or see that light there as it is reflecting back to you. And now send this energy, condensing it into a laser beam of blazing light. Take control of this light and shine it back onto your brain like a beam, like a laser, shining it back onto your brain, and see it moving like a torch in the darkness. Direct this light and feel it moving all over your brain, right and left, back and forth, up and down, finding the seeds of karma in the form of grooves that have formed in the brain as a result. These grooves are the origin of whatever present discomfort that you feel. And we are targeting this wound of repression. Perhaps we have repressed hidden, unexpressed fears for ages. Perhaps we have been holding on to things by ourselves for so long. Now is the time to stare this fear in the face, to realize that we have been carrying the weight of this repressed suffering alone. And tonight we are being called to transmute this repression. We are now ready. So from above your brain, you enter with this fiery, blazing torch of light, illuminating the very brain cells where these grooves were cut so long ago. See this light, this torch burning those brain cells, burning, cauterizing, pulverizing, Yogananda says. Sweep this torch up and down, back and forth, finding the grooves of the brain and healing them with this light. Command this light. Your higher self is with you, commanding this light to find those grooves in the brain that are causing us mental suffering. And now feel the divine memory of all past flowing into you. And now pulverize all mental records of whatever sort, physical, emotional, fears, past physical and mental troubles, of accidents, operations, losses, quarrels, traumatizing experiences, past negative habits, fears of what might happen in this world, fears of uncertainty, fears of death, thoughts of unkindness toward others, and records of when others have hurt you. All of this We can repress and it becomes grooves in the brain, but we are here now to face it. So send this light like a laser beam, burning all of these records wherever they are present in the brain. Feel the areas in the brain of where these records are present, knowing that this light is superconscious and intelligent, and it is finding these areas to be healed. And it is burning these records, destroying them and pulverizing them. Pulverize these records with this laser beam of light. And now, after being burned, see this light substituting those brain cells, those old programs, substituting those damaged cells with new brain cells, with new programs, with the opposite qualities, with the opposite habits, opposite thoughts, opposite tendencies, an ability to look fear in the face, to root it out, to bring it out into the light so that we can transmute it. Feel your brain becoming awake with this light. Feel we are coming out into the open, no longer carrying this weight alone, allowing your brain to feel renewed, light, luminous, and uplifted. No longer carrying these records. And now let us send this light throughout our body. Wherever we know that there is a physical issue, these physical issues come as a result of the grooves in the brain. These conditions in the brain. Send this beam to these areas of the body and see this light burning and healing these areas. Take some time to send this light to all the areas of the body that need your attention now. Feel that light moving, burning, and healing the body. Energy heals. Wherever that energy goes, it heals the body. And now, let us send this light to the heart for whatever sorrow, for this wound, for this repression that we've held on to. See this light reaching these areas, these memories, these old wounds that we've been holding on and repressing for so long. Reaching these sorrows and transmuting them into strengths. Transmuting repression, transforming it into honesty, into courage. Going deeper and deeper into the levels of the heart, send this light to one closed room after another. Whatever form of disease, Yogananda calls it darkness. Send this light to the heart. It opens doors where chambers of darkness, of pains that have been held on to for ages, and it heals them and it transforms them. Begin to feel now that your heart is like a lotus flower. That lotus bud is opening its petals wide and turning upwards to receive the light that is pouring into that lotus flower of your heart, nourishing your heart, filling you with joy. That joy is pouring into your heart, permeating every fiber of your being with this uplifted light energy. We begin to connect with God as Sat Chit Ananda, which Yogananda describes as ever-existing, ever-conscious, ever-new bliss. And this is what we really are beyond the body, mind, and senses. And when we feel this joy within us, this love, this joy that is always flowing to us, but it is we, by our love, who must complete the circuit and thereby generate the magnetism that can draw to ourself the very consciousness of infinity. Feel this light, feel this love, feel this joy pouring into your heart, nourishing you and filling you, permeating every fiber, every atom, every cell. And now let us share this light, this joy with the world. We'll place our palms together in front of our heart and then repeat this prayer out loud after me. And then we'll rub our palms together and then we'll raise our palms and chant Om 3 times as we send this light out into the universe, into the multiverse, to fill the galaxies with this healing energy so that we step into a world that is more peaceful, more loving. And these fears that have been hidden for years, for ages, coming out into the light and being healed. So repeating it out loud after me. Divine Mother, Thou art omnipresent. Thou art in all thy children. Manifest thy healing presence in all bodies, all minds, and all souls. Rubbing the palms together, feeling this warm magnetic energy in the palms. Taking in a deep breath. Palms up. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace. Amen. Carry this new vibration with you, this uplifted energy, as we have been continuing to heal our brain with this life force energy, becoming more light, more uplifted, more free. And we can share this healing vibration with everyone that we come into contact with. It's been a pleasure being with you here. This is a recorded broadcast, but next week I'll be back together with you live. I hope you enjoyed this session. Next week we will be learning about the next wound that we will be healing in ourselves. And if we can heal all these wounds within ourselves, we'll become so light and so free. And we will be healing this not only for ourselves, but also for our community and also for the world at large. Whenever we do these healing practices for ourselves, we are also doing it for others. We are making this world a more beautiful place. We are allowing ourselves to exist in a more uplifted state, and then we share that state with everyone that we come into contact with. And I'll also be sharing this practice with our group where we're meeting every Wednesday together. So if you're in St. Petersburg, we're meeting at Florida Rama at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Wednesday night. And then at the last week in June, we're going to be meeting in the main space at Florida Rama, which is a much larger space that we're looking to gather with a much larger group in that beautiful, incredibly fun and immersive space there at the Florida Rama Immersive Art Museum. That's going to be a lot of fun, and it's been really great meeting there for this month of June as our temporary home. It's been wonderful getting to meet and be with you all. One thing to remember, as I mentioned before, that when we actually have a real powerful experience of healing our minds in the practice that we did, you'll notice sometimes when it really works, and this actually stands for any time where we have a very healing experience, or we're taking steps forward towards our evolution, towards becoming the best versions of ourselves, making any positive step, there's always an equal and opposite reaction to that, or like the dragon of resistance, or this energy that tries to stop us. But when we experience that in life, that doesn't mean that it's not working. It actually means that, hooray, it is working. So be gentle after you do practices like this. Be gentle in your relationships. Know there may be disturbances that come up, because we bring up these mental records that we brought out into the light. We're no longer repressing them. We may have seen visions of our past, and these things come up. And those who are connected to us can also feel that. And it may cause disturbance in your relationship. It's just a small temporary wave that will come up. You may notice that someone will want to argue with you, or is also maybe remembering times in the past where you hurt them. Be gentle and be easy during this time. Know that it will come as a wave. Stay even-minded and cheerful if this happens. Be easy with yourself, and that will come. And you can use a mantra like chanting love, 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 love as you move through those waves. Know that that is a good sign. That means that you did good work, that you're healing yourself, and that is just a natural, normal result, the thing that comes. So just wanted to share that with all of you, and I look forward to being back together next week. And for those that are coming over on Wednesday, look forward to meditating with you then. And I am also thinking about possibly beginning to broadcast our meditation group, our longer Wednesday group meditations. I'm thinking about maybe doing this live stream on Wednesdays. I wanted to ask around from you, maybe put some comments in the notes there, put some comments here. I'm thinking about possibly switching up this live broadcast to Wednesday nights, so we can be together with everybody. We can be practicing this together. I'm hoping that works for the core group here that's been meeting, that maybe Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock might also work for you if we switch that over. So that's been something that I've been thinking about as a way to do longer meditations together and to feel that group community energy. So I hope that works for you guys, and I look forward to being back together with you again next Tuesday. Joy to you, friends.